That Susan writes in from Florida. Dear Andy, Joe, and Al, or Big Al, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's get it right.
Sorry, Big. Discovered your podcast the past few months. Don't change a thing.
Ooh.
I prefer to be entertained as I learn. Who said we're changing anything?
Well, I think Ninja and others made you question your style, maybe.
Well, I was just going to retire. If you would indulge me, I would love to hear a conversation on real estate investments, not a Roth conversion question. All right.
Okay.
Excuse me. Most of our retirement nest egg is tied up in real estate investment properties. Disclosure, I'm a realtor. Going after what I know. Oh,
Okay.
Susan.
Yep.
Oh, she's perfect.
That's what Warren Buffett says. Invest in what you know.
Oh, yeah. My husband and I are 52 and 53 and plan on retiring fully by age 60 at the latest. We currently have approximately $1.7 million in investment properties that generate monthly income around $5,000 a month after PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance for you real estate newbies.
Look
out
at
there.
you. Good for you.
PITI. But we anticipate that will be closer to about $8,000 a month when we're 60 due to the recent increases in all our mortgages being paid off. Okay?
Sweet.
We have 2 children, ages 22 and 24, and would like to retain the 3 rental properties until we both hit the pearly gates so they can inherit them and get the step up in basis and not have to incur taxes on the sale of them. This is my vision. Oh, this is my version of Roth.
Yeah, tax-free.
Love it. Okay, I know what you're going to say. You're not going to want to be a landlord when you're older. Nope, I wasn't going to say that.
I might have.
But we'll get the kids to manage them or a management company. In the meantime, the money generated from rent plus our Social Security will allow us not to have to sell the properties or touch our retirement accounts. Our forever home will be paid for, so we will only need $150,000 to live very comfortably. That will come from approximately $96,000 in rental income, $72,000 in Social Security income, which we'll start collecting at age 67. Here's my question for you to Spitball. Does the simple scenario I've laid out even make sense? I realize that tax law could change, but in the event that they don't, how are we looking? If you have any interest, other assets include pre-tax retirement, $350, Roth IRA, $130, little HSA, $35, I-bonds, $63.
Yeah. Wow.
And then they got their primary residence paid in full, $1.5 million. Also, does it make sense to build up a cash account between now and 60 to save taxes, do Roth conversions on the pre-tax accounts? Thank you so much for taking the time to chat on this. And Andy, God bless. You must have older brothers.
I do, Joe and Big Al.
Is that referring to how we treat her?
All righty. So, Susan, I don't know. If you like real estate, go with what you know. So, I don't know where she's getting her numbers. I mean, is she increasing the rents, by a couple of percent per year? If you laid out your numbers, I don't really see any issues with it besides the fact that you could have vacancies. Something could happen to the properties where you would have to put a lot of additional capital into the properties. So you might be discounting some of that a little bit.
Yeah, I think I think the strategy is fine. I really do. Here's my concerns.
Yep.
PITI is not the expenses. It's some of the expenses, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. As you mentioned, Joe, there's vacancies. And typically when there's vacancies, the house needs or condo needs work. It needs new carpet or new paint or whatever. Mm-hmm. And occasionally you need to get a new
furnace.
New roof,
Yep.
new furnace, new water heater, new everything, right? So those all have to be factored into what the real profit is. And so maybe this year and next year and the year after you didn't have any big repairs, but you should be setting some aside. This isn't all straight profit because it's going to come up. We know it's going to come up. So just be aware of that. Your $5,000 per month may not be quite that much when you factor in some of these other things. The $8,000 per month, probably the same thing. Rent increases, mortgages paid off. So it's a sound strategy. You're basically going to have a lot of equity that you're not really going to be enjoying, but it sounds like that's okay because you got enough other income from other sources. It sounds like you don't mind being a landlord. There's lots of property managers out there. They will probably not do as good a job as you will, but they will, in many cases, do a good enough job as you get older. You don't have to worry about it. Your kids, I would say that they may or may not be interested, just being honest.
You do have kids in that
I
age,
do.
yes.
Yeah. They actually do want me to teach them about real estate, but it's they're now in their late 20s and early 30s, and it's like it hasn't been really top of mind for them. But I think it's a fine strategy. As far as the saving cash for Roth conversions, yeah, if you're in a loan up bracket, go for it. But you've got $350,000 in a pre-tax retirement. I'm not too worried about your required minimum distribution, so I don't think that's your main strategy. And if you ever need to grab it for a need, it might be because of long-term care, which is deductible anyway. So maybe that's less important than if it were, add another zero to that.
No, I like it. I mean, if you could get the debt paid off, that's a really conservative strategy.
Yeah.
Well, just what you want to compare it to. But you're buying what you know and you love. So
Yeah.
I mean, why change?
Yeah.
But if you're looking to see from a different perspective or a different investment, you just look at what is your cash on cash return? What is the equity of the overall properties that you have is rentals, and what is the cash or the net cash flow that you are receiving, and just divide.
Right.
And if that number, you might be surprised of how low it is, or you might be surprised of, hey, it's a 4 or 5%, and then that is a sound investment and it's a sound investment strategy.
Yeah, and in general, Florida has decent cash flow for rentals compared to California, where we're from.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.